We good? Everyone hear me okay? Barb, you here? Okay, cool. So, as you know, Volus will come with 1600 normal mode, 1620 hard mode. In normal mode, you get epic elixirs, and hard mode, you get legendary ones. I'll explain the difference between the two when we get to that point. But all you need to know is that you have a limited number of elixirs per week that you can craft per character. So if you reach that limit, then you can no longer craft elixirs that week. This is obviously to prevent whales from getting like 40 set week one, and just time gating it. It also means that every elixir cut that you make is extremely important, not only because you're wasting gold, but you're wasting your opportunity for that week, or one of your opportunities for that week, to get your 40 set. Now, when I say 40 sets, what am I talking about? Like these elixirs will come with two options on them. There are five elixirs that you're gonna need to equip, and they're pretty much similar to how tripods used to work, where you could select which one, like which set you have on and stuff like that. Uh, Once you've applied it to the gear. So you'll be able to apply an elixir to all your armor pieces. Weapon is not included. So altogether you'll have five elixirs that you will equip on your gear, one for each, obviously, item. Um, Now, the when you cut an elixir, when you first open it, it'll look something like this. Okay? So we have the three bozos here, which is the one on the left is Killmonger, the one in the middle is Morgan Freeman, and the one on the right is Grandma. That's how the Koreans call them. That's what we use. Sorry? Denzel, Morgan Freeman. I'm sorry. Yes, Denzel. He's Denzel. Fine. I'll call him Denzel. I'll call him Denzel. I think it's interchangeable either way. Um, so you will be presented at the start with three options to pick from one of them. As you can see on the right hand side here, we have select effect, select effect, select effect. So when you cut an elixir, there's three stages. The first stage is to select which options you can empower. So if we look at the elixir effects here, these are the options that can appear. So you have common elixir effects, which is attack power, um, which can give you up to 767 attack power. Demolition, which means your battle item damage, like your destruction grenades, deal more damage. You know, when you throw it, there's a number that comes up. That's damage it does. First aid, this means like your pot will heal you more. HP regen, this is like your passive regen that you get. Magic stream, this is one of the worst ones because it's like recovery outside of combat. Master of escape, like how your stand up um, comes back up quicker. Max MP, so increases your mana. Mobility, your movement skill comes up quicker. Solo, this is a Chaos Dungeon one, so when you're not in a party, your damage is increased. Stagger, you do increased stagger with all your skills. Strength, obviously for like Gunslinger and Blade, you'll have dexterity here instead of strength. And then weapon power. So these are the common ones. Now, some elixir effects can only go into specific slots. So for example, headwear will have part 1 of your set. So these are the sets. You know, when people say 40 set, this is what they're referring to. So these sets here. So each class has the best in slot set that everyone should be aiming for, because that's the one that's going to obviously increase your damage the most. As far as I'm aware, for both Blade and Gunslinger, The set that you should be going for is Vanguard. No, sorry. It's that's a support one. Conversion. Conversion, because this is damage on crit, so it's not critical damage. So whenever you do a critical attack, your damage is increased by 12%. This is multiplicative. Okay, so it's better than crit damage per se. Uh, is it? Okay, so for blade it would be expert, which is like an adrenaline equivalent. Whenever you use a skill, you get increased crit chance up to 7%. Uh, yeah, 40 increases damage. Yeah. Um, so chess piece, you have damage reduction, magic defense, max HP, and physical defense. These are more like defensive options. Please note that you don't need the specific, like if you want to equip something on your chest that has um, like common elixir effects, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to have like damage reduction, physical defense on it to be able to equip it on your chest piece. But if you do have damage reduction in your elixir, you will not be able to equip it on your headwear or your pants or whatever. It'll have to be on your chest piece. Pants gives you additional damage, critical damage, identity gain, and unity, which is for supports, which is attack, buff, effectiveness. Gloves is the second set of your set, so you will need, obviously, on your headwear and on your gloves, you will need to have this um, elixir effect, the elixir effect that you need. This is where everyone obviously needs to be aiming for. Huh? What do you mean you stack them? Yes. You need conversion on both pieces if you want to go for that set. So you need both gloves and helm in order for your set to activate. And then depending on how many nodes you get either the 35 or the 40. And then shoulder armor is awakening damage, burst damage, guardian, which is a support one, shield effectiveness on party members, and healing, again a support one, healing effectiveness on party members. Yes, it's the same as grudge, damage to boss or above monsters. So, like I said, when you first open up an elixir, it'll start like this. So you get to choose from one of the three options um, to add it on here. So this is the first stage where you select the 5 options to go for. So out of these, you get solo, which is the Chaos Dungeon one, strength, which is a prime one, and then magic stream, which is primary resources recovery outside of combat. So obviously here we will be going for strength. So it adds strength up there, and then it gives you options to select again. So it gives you mobility, which is the movement skill cooldown, first aid, which is battle item recovery, and magic stream. They're random. They will always be random. This is where like people who go for perfect elixirs, this is where their cutting of the elixir ends basically at the end of this stage if they don't get the good ones that they want. So all of these are pretty mid shit. So I would go here for mobility, for example. Um, Guardian is the support one. First aid is whatever, increases your pot, counteracts cursed doll, whatever. Identity gain, good for like swords or whoever else needs identity gain. So we'll just go for this one. Shoulder damage, sorry, boss damage on shoulder, and that's pretty good. The other one's damage, battle item damage increase, and Chaos Dungeon 1. So we'll just go for that one. And now we get our set. This is like super rare to get. Um, so there's a very small chance to get the set requirement, the one that you require for the set. I think the percentage is like less than 5% or something like that, but don't quote me on it because I don't know the exact numbers. But basically, it's the ones. These are the ones that we're going for, and we're hoping that it'll end up being good. So at this stage, I'll just pick one of them because you can't pick both of them, right? So one's for gloves, one's for helm. So if you're missing one or the other and you're in this position, then you are pretty happy to begin with. Yes, both gloves and helm. No, different elixir. So this is one elixir. Okay? Yes, with expert, for example, if that's the set you're going for. Um, but you can't have, for example, like we have here, we have shoulder armor and gloves. We cannot end the elixir with these two. And what I mean by that is we are now entering the second stage of making the elixir. So like I said, there's three stages. The first stage was to select the options that we're working with. Okay. The second stage is the one where all the RNG comes in. And then the third stage of crafting an elixir is sealing off um, three of these options, because in the end you will end up with two options. So currently we have strength, mobility, first aid, boss damage, expert. At the end we will only have two of these remaining. Okay, so it's very important to keep that in mind, because that means you need to prioritize two of them. The way you prioritize them is through these next steps, which is stage 2 of crafting the elixir. Um, each of these alchemists, bozos, whatever, they give you options. So you'll see here that Killmonger's option on the left, it says decrease the chance for expert chaos by 5% for all remaining steps. So what you will notice also is that each one of these options has 20% written next to it. Now, whenever we select an option from one of these bozos, what they do is they drop like a pinball, and that pinball goes into one of these options. Okay? Are you guys following me so far? So it can drop anywhere, but obviously they all have a 20% chance to drop in it. They all have equal chance to drop in either of them. So the goal is to get to this number 5 here, or as close to it as possible. Um, yes, that means it's maxed out. That option specifically. So you'll see that you don't get anything for the first two, but on the third one you get one. Uh, it is pretty difficult to like comprehend and get your hand around it, but once we go through the explanation, I'm hoping that you have a better understanding of it, and then you can go and do some simulations yourself. Because once you do it yourself, you kind of get a better understanding of how it works. Um, so like I was saying, there's also a 10% for each one that you see on the bottom right of each option. Now that's the critical hit chance for it. So that what does that mean? It means that if a pinball drops on it, it has a 10% chance to give you 2 points in it. Yes. So the bozos will give you different ways to influence the outcome of your elixir, different options. So one of them is to obviously decrease the chance for all remaining steps. This means that expert chaos will have 15% chance while the rest will have an increased chance. No. So the second option, first aid will get 2 points and skip one step. And the third option, increase the great success chance of the for the effect of your choice by 7% for all remaining steps. So this means that if I select whichever one I select, we'll get a greater critical chance. So out of these options, yes, this one is the better one. And considering we will, yeah, I'm trying to be positive, okay. And obviously we want expert chaos. Um, to go as high as possible because it shows you when you hover over it, it shows you the level, the increase level that the set will give. So a level 1 it gives 0.23% damage increase in magic defense all the way to 1.44. So we'll go for that one. So we'll select the option, and now that we've selected the option, you can see that this has been adjusted to 17%. So now permanently till the end of the elixir, expert chaos will have 17% crit chance. And now when we click transmute, we drop down pinball. So it's going to drop 20% chance to drop in one of them. And it dropped on first aid, and it also crit. So we got 2 points in first aid. You guys follow me so far? So that it is what it is. So now you will notice that the bozos have some balls, some like different color balls, and empty slots above their options. So every time you every time you select one of the bozos, it will add one blue dot ball onto their option. When it reaches 3, it gives you like a super option. Like it gives you something that's usually a lot better than the normal option. So these guys, when you don't select them, it goes up by 1 purple. Okay? So when you reach 6, when you haven't selected it for 6 times, it'll give you like a super option for them. So they're like, please select me. You haven't picked me in like 6 turns. Here's a really, really good option. Yeah, more or less, more or less. There's different strategies, but I won't go into them. That's like more advanced stuff on how to maximize the outcome and getting the most out of the special options. But I'll just focus on the basics so far. So now that we've selected Grandma, she has 1 blue ball, and the other 2 guys have a purple ball each. So Killmonger says increase the chance for expert chaos by 35% for one step. So what this means is for one step, there's a 55% chance that the pinball will drop in expert chaos. Uh, well, the thing about elixirs is you kind of want to get more for your money. What I mean is you don't want to skip steps unless you really have to. And what I mean by steps is if you look at the bottom here, you have remaining steps 13. So for legendary elixirs, you have 14 pinballs that basically can drop to make up your elixir. If you do the calculations, you'll note that for each one of these to go to level 5, they need more than 7. So eventually you will want to get like 4 4s, 5 5s, what does that mean? Getting two options, ending up with two options that have the level 5 here and level 5 here, or level 4, level 4, level 5, level 4, and stuff like that. So you need to like um, you need to cheat the system. You need to find ways to cheat it, to cheat the number of balls that you drop, the number of pinballs that you drop. Um, anyway, so yes, in this situation, Expert Chaos is the best option because we want it and it'll drop it there. So, and you also get the second blue ball, yes. So now Grandma says 25% to add 1 point to first aid. So what this means is before you drop the pinball, there's a 25% chance that she will give you one extra ball in first aid. The, th the thing is, you don't really care about min-maxing your elixirs at the start. You want to get your 40 set and fuck off, basically. So all you're prioritizing at the start is getting your 40 set. So getting those numbers as high as possible and getting your set in the first instance. Later on, if you want to min-max, it'll get really, really fucking expensive. So it depends what you want to do. But so in this situation, she's offering to give us 25% chance to drop to put a point before dropping the pinball. So it's a pretty decent option. The general strategy is to try and focus on two of these options. I, it'll be very difficult to do, but to try and focus on them. So if RNG initially says, well, first aid, it hit a crit there, then we're kind of stuck with trying to maximizing that one, because if you keep getting points all over the place, then you won't end up with a very high elixir. So yeah, it will reset the balls on the third one, and it will reset the purple balls on the second one. The second one uh, will become one blue ball, and Grandma will become one purple ball. Not necessarily. Not necessary. Yeah, it's the 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 whole picking and choosing thing will become a lot more important later on. That's why you'll see on here we have a reroll option, and we only have two of these reroll options. So that means if we get a shit option, we can choose to reroll it. But sometimes, even if you click reroll, you might still be offered the same thing. So that's why it's important to keep these for the end. And I'll get there. I'll explain why when we get to that point. So let's use Grandma again, just so we can see her special option as well. So I chose her option. I got lucky. 25% chance. She dropped a pinball in first aid before I transmuted, before I dropped the pinball in the random location. So we'll click the transmute button now, and it went for first aid again, because why the fuck not? So it's although it's first aid and it's a fucking shit option, it's still good because the whole, like I said, the whole purpose is to get these numbers as high as possible. So Grandma's option, sorry, is to increase the gray success chance for effects in slot 2 and 4 by 15% for all remaining steps. So it's kind of shit, but it doesn't affect us it doesn't affect us in any negative way. Um, so we're kind of left with this option. The other options that we have is Mega Gamba. -2 +2 on expert chaos, or increase the great success chance for all effects by 5% for remaining steps. This is a pretty decent option, um, but for the purposes of this example, I want to go with this one because I want to show you guys the options, the purple options for these guys. Sorry, the first one? No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh, over get -1. I know, but like I said, this is like advanced strategy. We're just discussing basics at the moment, so we'll just go with this option. So when we dropped the pinball, we got lucky and it dropped 1 in expert chaos. So that's pretty good. So now this is one that fucks you over because you've worked so hard on first aid, and what grandma says is remove 1 point from the effect with the highest progress and swap it with the lowest progress. So what she's saying is I'm gonna take 1 point off of first aid and I'm gonna either put it in strength, mobility, or boss damage. Is that a good option? No, it's fucking dog shit. Uh, Denzel says lowest effect +1, so he's gonna give +1 on one of these, and random effect -1. The thing is, and I don't think many Koreans know this, but it's something that Saint discovered, is that the random effect can be applied to, sorry, the random effect -1 can be applied to an option that already has 0 on it. So there is a chance that you don't lose any points when you do this, but it's not a great or no, yeah. And the third option is to transmute expert chaos, but by picking this, it will completely fuck our progress with the purple orbs. The thing about the purple bonuses, they're not amazing, and personally, I prefer the blue ones over the purple. So considering the effect, considering the option that Grandma gave us, that is complete trash, and I don't want to use a reroll attempt, I will go for this one. Do you guys understand why? Barvchi. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I'm just going for this one. Okay. So now, what Killmonger wants to say is, no matter what the how many balls we have in mobility, it will replace it with +2, +3. So either +2 or +3. Um, Denzel wants 25% chance to add 1 point to boss damage, and Grandma has a 50% chance to add 1 point to first aid. So we don't really give a fuck about mobility. This option came up about first aid, and I mean it's an option that we already have 4 points in. It, like I said before, you don't really want to min max at the start. You just get what you're given. Um, any two options, but prioritizing your set. Yeah, we were lucky to get it because we could have had an elixir where we didn't get our set. Then that's fine. No, no, if it has like strength and stagger or something like that, it's still good. If it's a 5/5 or a 4/4 or like something high, you still keep it because it's like you're only interested in how many nodes it gives you basically at the start. Yeah, so you want 40s exactly. So 50% chance to add 1 point to first aid. And we weren't very lucky this time because 25% is higher than 50 apparently. So now we're gonna drop a pinball, and it went into explicate. This is going this is going too well. So usually when I do these, I get like 2, 1, 2, 3, 1 or something like that. You know, like the points get fucking distributed everywhere. So the fact that we're only focusing on two is good. But as with cutting stones, this is only the beginning, so don't get too hyped up. So, remember when I was telling you that I don't really care much for the purple options? What this guy is telling you, what Denzel is telling you, is like, I'll take the highest one that you have, and I'll just distribute randomly the points amongst the other effects. So that is a very, very bad option. You would only, yeah, 10 points. It is. I mean, it's not that hard once you know what you're doing. It is, yes. I mean, it's not super hard. This is a bad example because we were very lucky. Okay? Usually it doesn't go this well. Anyway, we will still be going with Grandma here because her option is much better than this garbage. Um, it, great. There is a strategy to go for great success, to stack up great success, because if you do that, then it's more likely that you get 2 points at once. Um, but we can re-roll just so you guys see what it looks like on this occasion. So if we click the re-roll button, it'll change all of these options, hopefully. No, he gave us even worse. so, so exactly, yeah. So you on this one we got lucky and Grandma gave us a pretty good option, which says add 1 point to expert and remove 2 points from strength. Strength is zero already. We don't care about it, and we get a free point. So this is before we drop the actual pinball. Okay, so we select the option, she gave us one, and now we drop the pinball, and it went into first aid. What the fuck is this elixir, bro? Okay, so now we're at a stage. We're at a stage where we need to strategize a bit because we're heading into the end game. Now, what this means is when we have um, like 3 steps remaining, the the bozos will give us options to close down one of the effects, and they'll give us that until the end. So they'll give us one at 3, one at 2, and one at 1, so that eventually we will seal off 3 and we are left with 2. Now, for what I mean by strategizing is that's when the purple and the blue ones actually super matter. Because the options, the extra options, the bonus options that we get from purple and blue can be quite good at that stage because they give you they add extra effects, they add extra points and stuff like that. and also it gives you the option to like close down the one that you want. So yes, yes, but it's rare. So Grandma's option right now is pretty decent. It increases the chance for the pinball to drop in expert chaos. 55% chance. How many times have you cut a stone and went blue on 55 and it went red, it went miss? 75. So let's pick Grandma and drop a ball. And it actually went in. Yeah. So So on this occasion, Grandma gives us another reroll attempt, which is pretty valuable towards the end. Which, uh, yeah. The first one's pretty good. Well, the first one is what it means is it'll add 1 point to all the effects that have the same number. Sorry, to all the effects with the same similar number of points. No, with less number of points that expand chaos. So basically, you'll just add 1 point to all of these, to all other four ones. So it's not that great. Whereas the Denzel is pretty good because he adds 1 point to first aid for free. So we'll do that one, and then we'll drop the. It's decent, but you're not. I'll explain later why it's good to save rerolls. Um, when yeah, I'll explain later. I'll explain later because it'll just get confusing if I start getting into it now. So let's drop the pinball and we dropped into mobility. Okay. So now we're already offered ceiling options. So Grandma says transmute three effects at once. This means she will drop three. When you drop a pinball, you actually drop three pinballs at once. So they will all go in like three different effects. Uh, yeah, yeah. So um, this one is not good because it makes you skip a step. Skipping a step, skipping a step means you have less options and you have less balls. Yeah, I mean we can reroll, but we're kind of left without rerolls afterwards. So uh, I it'll be 3 points, but it'll be like in three random, right? So it can go strength, mobility, boss damage. It can go strength, mobility, and boss damage, and we're fucked. Yeah. So we'll just reroll. So we'll go with Denzel because he says that for the remaining steps will reduce the chance that the pinball drops into boss damage by 5%. So this, I kind of want his special ability because I want to show what happens at the end with the special abilities. Yeah, ideally, yeah, probably Killmonger would be the best option here, but let's for the purposes of this exercise, we'll just go with this. So we obviously went into mobility. So this is a pretty good option as well. Um, that if you get it at the start, it says add 1 point to random effect. So this is again another form of cheating the system because you drop a point before you actually drop your pinball in. Um, Now between these two, we're getting at the stage to seal. So we can go with either this one or this one. What do you guys prefer? That's definitely an option. Or we could just go with grandma and then we get her bonus option at the end, I think. Okay. Okay. So this is why I said that I really like blue over purple. So when we're at the sealing stage, they will all offer you the option to seal one. So what this means is you will seal off, no more pinballs can drop off on there, and that option will not appear on the final elixir. Okay, it's out, it's done, it's deleted, completely fucked. It's gone. Killmonger gives you the option to seal the effect of your choice, so whichever one you click on, it will go away, and it also adds 1 point to a random effect. Denzel gives you extra steps, which is always, pretty much always what we're looking for. So on this occasion, what do you guys? We'll select Denzel, and what do you guys want to? Strength. Good, 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 good. And we dropped the ball, and it went into mobility again. Okay. Um, Now we're approaching Grandma's super option, which is good. And Denzel's option is pretty decent. It says increase the grace exchange chance for all effects by 60% for one step. So what it means is it's pretty likely that it'll crit wherever it'll drop. Um, Sorry? Yeah, yeah. So let's do that. Let's select Denzel. So now everything's like 70%, 85% chance to crit, etc., etc. So we'll drop one ball. No, it went to one. No, no, it's very easy to get 40 cents, isn't it? So we worked. Yeah, we currently have 4 points. How many times have we started cutting a stone and it went really well? And then at the start, I mean, that's why it's good to have free rolls, right? So we'll have to fucking seal off mobility so we can get the bonus options. Okay, we sealed off. So, oh, extra step. See, I told you the blue ones, they're fucking amazing. So we'll select this one. We'll seal off boss damage. That means another pinball will drop, and it went into expert chaos. And we can either go for Mega Gamba, which is +2 -2, or we can go with the medium Gamba, a 50% chance to add 1 point into first aid. Mega Gamba. Yeah, she added 1 point. That's pretty good. It's gonna still be a 4-3. Yeah, 5-2. Uh, it's a 4-2. Yes. And this is not counting the gold that you spent to convert your chaos stones into. Yeah, so this is. There is. So there is one other point that I wanted to go over, and I'll just quickly go over. I'll just pick some random ones because I wanted to show you some specific scenarios. Okay. So what are these scenarios? And okay. So can I get it? No, I couldn't. But um, basically, all of these bozos, so all three of them, their purple option sometimes can give you a Mega Gamba option. Killmonger's option says um, select the effect of your choice. It will get between 0 plus 4 um, points, but this what are they called? I keep calling them bozos. This sage can no longer be used till the end of the elixir. So what this means is, if you select that option, the effect of your choice will get between 0 and 4, which is whatever fucking random number that is, and that sage will no longer grant you options till the end. So exactly. I'm gonna give you something super powerful, but then I'm gonna fuck off. Yeah, because it can give you fucking zero. Um, so that's why it's important to keep your rerolls for the end, because a while ago I pinned a message in where did I pin it? In general chat. No, I pinned a message in general chat. If you guys look at general chat, it was 10th of July. So I was left with an option at the end where grandma was missing. I had no reroll options, and it was asking me to either seal demolition or expert order. So I couldn't. I wanted to seal magic stream, but I couldn't. So if you find yourself in that situation where you have a 5/5 elixir, which is pretty decent, yeah, you have your set and something else, but you find yourself in a situation where you have to seal off one of that option, then you're fucked. These exactly. Now, one other bonus option that all of them can give is reset the elixir. And what it does is it literally takes you back to this point where you can select the options. You lose the fucking gold, but the gold doesn't fucking matter. The fact is you have only 7 elixirs that you can do per week, right? Yeah, that's 7. You can buy more, but you can maximum you can do per week. I think it's 7 or something like that. Exactly, exactly. Look, to get a 40 set is gonna cost on average between 2 to 300,000 gold. But the thing is, you get between 24 to 28% damage increase. There is no other way in the game for you to get that much damage for so little gold. There literally isn't, obviously, apart from engravings. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like initially, in first week in Korea, they were going. You could make if you sold all of your elixirs that you got in week one, you made an extra 50,000 gold that week. This is hard mode. The, so no, uh, there's a pretty good post that that Saint put up, which I'll link afterwards. But the difference between normal, so like epic elixirs and legendary elixirs, if you look here on the options, the maximum you can get to is 4, so you can't have 5. And also the steps, the number of steps that you get is I think it's 12. Actually, I can check. So it's 11. So 11 steps, and you can only max it out at 4. You can't go beyond 4. The thing is, you can use purple elixirs to like outset and complete your 40 set by just getting if you're lucky and if you're skilled enough or knowledgeable pretty much lucky. Let's be honest. And you end up with, let's say, a 5/5, 5/4, 4/4 elixir, like your legendary ones. Then you can make a 30 set activate with just like a 3/1 or a 2/2 purple elixir, and just keep that in as a temporary. Yeah, yeah. There's no 30 set. It's only 35. It's very difficult to go for the 35 or the 40 set. No, 35. It's still good. It's still good to cut them, to have them then there temporarily. Like on average, if you cut all purple elixirs and put them in, on average you get about 7% damage increase, which is still something for very cheap, for like super cheap. 7% damage increase for like yeah. So yeah, they're cheaper to cut. They're yeah, it's pinned in general chat. I'll put it in general chat again. Chi, do you have any questions? Yeah, yeah, I do recommend using the Elixir simulator before that because you don't actually use any gold. Um, so rather than doing it in the game where you use your resources up. So yeah, you'll get there. Don't worry. It's not, and it's a lot easier once you get to yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, I'll stop this. I'll record.